Welcome to cs101, Word Module 2, Part 2. I want to show you something before we get started on this. I have recently received a fine paper from one of your fellow students. Let's see if I can find where I put that. There it is. I'm going to download that. And open it in Word. This paper was presented at the Evangelical Theology Conference, I believe, by your senior, Mr. Nathan Abdi. Now, apparently the Evangelical Society or Theology Society doesn't require MLA. First clue is the title is an MLA style. But look at all the footnotes these people use. That's just the first page. Let's go down a few other pages. There's a few footnotes. And they make good use of the footnote capability. We're going to be using that there, showing how we can use that on our research paper. Using some Greek, we actually figured out how to change our font. Change the font to Greek as it came to our representative. And there's even some Hebrew in there. Impressed by the level of study here. And basically looking at Romans 10? Yeah, Romans 10, 5 through 8, with reference to the passage of Deuteronomy. So they did I'm going to turn off those formatting characters. They didn't use much for references and bibliography that we're going to be doing in our paper. But they were big on footnotes. So lots of footnotes along the way, and very nice. It does the page for you as you add footnotes. I don't make spaces. Imagine back in the day when people had to manual type it. Like, how could they have done all this? Word is doing so much for us. One thing that he didn't use sources and parenthetical references like I was expecting. Apparently, ETS doesn't require that. And I just fired off a question to Professor Kundeman about that. I was just curious. Don't they require some kind of MLA? They do have for further reading, kind of a bibliography down there. And this isn't completely, I think, in the perfect format yet for ETS. I noticed they also didn't have page numbers. He mentioned that yeah, he's going to have to put in page numbers. He's submitting this paper actually to the ETS. Last year, he got some recognition with this contest or this recognition. Well done. Maybe one day, maybe you doing something like this. May not be an Evangelical Theological Society, but some other report. And reports like this that discuss a subject and nicely organized, you can see that the spacing here, let's see what the spacing is. What do I got? Looks like it's 2-line spacing. There's lots of things you could do here that you can use superscripts and some mentioning the verses. So I'm not sure what their exact requirements are. The things we're going to be doing footnotes and doing the MLA parenthetical, and then at the end doing a bibliography, which Word is going to do so much of the work for us. So that's just an example of some well-done paper with 18 pages. Remember, in the file properties, I can go back to my properties and view all the statistics about this underneath the file properties advanced. In the statistics, I see it as 18 pages, 77 paragraphs, 330 per line, 4,131 words. I don't know how interesting those are. Sometimes, if you have it fresh without being a copy, it actually shows you how long it was there. Total editing time, according to Word, 2,725 minutes. Total editing time. Quite a bit of time spent on this. I'm not sure how it calculates time, whether it was he had it open, he walked away from it, whether that counts. But, nice research paper. That's the kind of thing we're looking at in this particular example. So back to this example. We got to the point where we created a parenthetical reference to someone called to. And remember how we did that? I'll just do one by adding one next to it, and I'll come back to read it. Remember how you add any references? Go to the References tab, Insert Citation. I could just add the placeholder and come back later, but I think it makes more sense. If I have the source, I have my little either my index card for my reading or the actual book in front of me, I can add the source, get all that information, filling in the fields that it expects. And remember, when I choose type of source, it puts in the suggested information that should be there for the most complete reference. Sometimes you don't have all the information. If you actually have more information than the strongly suggested information, you can come down here and click Show All Bibliography Fields, and it'll show you all of them and putting little red stars on what the particular MLA style thinks should be there. So you can always go through and edit everything. But if you know, let's not only put what MLA requires for a journal article, you can turn off Show All. It won't complain if you don't fill everything in. It just may not give you a complete bibliography. The cool thing about this is you can come back later and just come back to References and just click on the Manage Sources. And you can then edit your references just to verify that they have the information that you want. If you had been reading something else and had it in other papers, they will show up in your master list of sources available. So as you're reading and studying a particular topic, planning on doing a research paper, you can actually add sources, have them in here, and then at the different point where you want to insert references, you can just say, oh, I'm using that one today. Click and copy that over to your current list of sources. Then they'll show up in the bibliography. A lot of people don't know about these features. I'm thinking if you're doing a detailed research paper, this may save you a lot of time. But you have to be using Microsoft Word as you're writing, and some people will use Google Documents and at the very end download it. And that defeats a lot of these capabilities. But Word is around on so many computers. That's what this chapter is about. Not only about making a nice, well-written research paper, learning about this sort. So let's pop up our books and see if we can get this baby finished. Going over to my textbook online, and I'll bring up online book, so I have it here. We're going to be continuing this paragraph, adding a couple more parenthetical references. And we're on page WD80. We've added the to author. And now, I guess they did add some extra bibliography information. They had some extra date information. And they show that on page WD81. It looks like. Let's go add that extra information that they have. So I'm going to come back here, click on that, and then edit source. Click on the little arrow, edit source. And they had additional things that weren't in the normal expected fields. So we turn on Show All Bibliography Fields and go down to the part where it says Here Access. They're filling that in 2017, October for month access, October abbreviated with period, and day access. 3. Hard to read that. I think that was it. So for web pages, that is often a useful thing because you know how web pages can change out there. So we put a web 2017 October 3rd. If it is a very important page that is critical to whatever research you're doing, you better take a screenshot of that web page because that information may change when someone else is going back and saying, wait a minute, you're lying to me about what saw there. You can say, no, here's the shot I took at that time. That happened actually a few years ago in your, I guess I'll in the Olympics in China. There was someone that saw, they came on and saw a particular player. They were curious. They seemed very young. And they looked at a website that showed, yes, this was their birthday. They took a shot of that, and then they made their report to the media, and everyone was up in arms. And now when they go to that date, oh, she had a birthday. Because they realized, uh-oh, we want to cover our tracks. So that was a case where, yes, having the actual screenshot of the website was supported their page. And by the way, just for their information, just free information about computer history out there, if you say something stupid on Facebook or Twitter, and you go back and erase it, even though you erase it, it's still there out on the internet. People and machines are constantly, basically, copying what's there, and they can go back in history to see what you wrote. Even though you realize after the fact, I should have said that, they can erase it. Usually, something that won't harm you, but occasionally it may be something that could be affecting you in your future. So be super careful about what you say out there. Think twice, and if you have to think about it, it's probably a good reason that you say it all. It's happened to me. Emails and online, you can't take it back. It's there forever. And they're security people that basically say the internet is not secure no matter what you do, get over it. Okay, so we're now continuing that paragraph after entering the sentence after that reference. So now we go to properly define heading. No paragraph wrapping for me. Let Word do it. Oops. Enter. How many have noise canceling earbuds? Do you notice that autocorrect I did? Technology, I spelled accidentally wrong. Once I hit the period, well, period space, hit the 4. The autocorrect. Now I think we're going to get ready to add another reference here in a second. We are adding well, this time we're going to add a footnote. And where are we putting our footnote? Yes, we're putting it after the period, after that last sentence. Now practice in the footnotes. And so we just go to our reference and click Insert Footnote after we get to the end of that last sentence. My insertion point will put a superscript, and it's keeping track of the number of my footnotes. I don't have to worry about my footnote number. So coming here, insert footnote, automatically puts the horizontal line, puts a superscript 1, and pops me my insertion point to where I should insert my footnote text. And the text is this. Insert footnote. So I was up here at the end of that sentence, and I just did insert footnote on the references tab, and it automatically pops me down. So automatically put something at the bottom of the page, and now we'll put in our text for a footnote. I'm going to do a paste special from my book where I copied it from. I'm going to do a paste text only, and there's my yeah. So there is our footnote. We could put parenthetical references even in footnotes. I think that's what they're doing in the photo. Yeah, we are. No, we're putting. What are we putting on this? There we go. We're putting it after the word earbuds. Yeah, we are putting it in the reference. So we're adding a placeholder in our footnote after we have the sentence in there. So I'll give you time to type in that sentence. I can't zoom anymore or else it'll go off the table. Right at the, I think there's going to be a space and then a parenthetical reference. So after we type in the word, get to the word earbuds, we're going to go to the references tab. Instead of footnote, we're going to now insert citation. And in this time, we're only adding the placeholder, and then we're going to come back and edit the source. For the placeholder, we're just going to type that author Gupta in this placeholder. Are you ready yet? Okay. Now I'm hoping that in your life here at Emmaus and in your college years, typing isn't super slow for you. If you find that you are just a two-finger typist, we would recommend speeding up your typing a little bit. There's lots of online programs, free, just to help you learn to type a little faster. Some people are amazingly fast. But it'll save your frustration and time, unless, of course, you dictate and have something typing for you. When you're making all that money, dictating, you don't have to worry about it. I'll bet you a lot of you are probably better at typing on your phone with two thumbs than anything else. Huh? What I like to do is I just talk into my phone, especially if I maybe haven't talked on my phone when I'm driving. Rather than texting, I'll just speak to the microphone and then send, rather than risking my life even more by texting at all. Okay, we ready? Yeah. Okay. So we got to that end of that sentence, and we added the footnote, filled in the footnote, and are now ready to add the placeholder. The one was put in there when we just had insert footnote. Microsoft Word automatically keeps track of what number footnotes we want. If I added a footnote to a previous place, it would automatically make this become footnote number 2. Ready, Cody? All right. So down in the footnote, after the word earbuds, space after the word earbuds, we in this case we're only going to insert the citation just to show that the placeholder, insert citation, placeholder, and all we're typing is what we want to show in the placeholder, Gupta. And we just remember, yeah, we have Gupta, but I don't have all the information about that. I just remember the name of the author was Gupta. I can put in the placeholder and then come back to it. So put in the placeholder, and then we're going to do a little modifying of the style of our footnote. And we notice here that footnotes are not double-spaced. We realize that footnotes need to be double-spaced. Remember how to do that? I could come over to Home, and it should be a format over here, but even easier, I can just right-click Style, right there. Right-click Style while I'm in the footnote. Remember, footnote is not the same as footer. So right-click Style, and now I can choose my style here, and we're going to modify this a bit. Right? We're going to change the font to 12 and double space of the paragraph. That's all we can do. So right-click, modify, right here. Font size, we leave it at Times New Roman, but change it to 12 as the font size. And in the spacing of the paragraph, right here, however this guy, that's going to give me the double space style. And I'm going to leave it as only this document so I don't mess up everyone else that's logged into the same profile. Remember how I did that again? Right click, style, modify, 12-point font, double space. And let's see if we got everything right. Right. First line. Oh, we're also changing in our indentation. Remember, we want to indent the first line. Apparently, that's another setting for our MLA style footnotes. In order to adjust the indentation of the first line, I have to go down to the Format, Paragraph, down here, Format, Paragraph, and now for the paragraph style of footnotes, I indent the first line under here, first line, special, happening. A lot of things to do there, a little maze to go. Remember how that's done? I adjusted the style, went to the special additional formatting of that paragraph, changed its special indentation of the first line. Now everything's ready, and I think that we'll remember that style for footnotes while I am in this document. I'll remember this for this document. Now I click OK and apply. And now, from now on, any footnotes should have that style. Now we can come back to edit this source. Click on that placeholder. Click again until I get the little citation option, tiny arrow pop up. And now I can go to edit source. I could have waited till the very end, just have the placeholders come back and now edit the source. Remember, we inserted the placeholder that says Gupta. That's what we did. Yeah, we inserted a citation that said Gupta, and we only inserted the placeholder. But if you don't have it there yet, you can pop right to insert source. Yeah. Yeah, and let's see what they want to put here. They have this on. In this case, the type of source is going to be book. And in this case, we actually have 3 authors. Now, if I know how the formatting of 3 authors should go, I could type it here. Or I could come over here to Edit and add multiple authors. Because we have multiples, we're going to let Word do a little work for us. Let's put in the last name, Gupta. First name, Elena. And I can tab or put down name. Yep, and then Maya as the middle name. I can add that. And since there's multiple authors, I can come down to another author. Elena, Maya, M-A-I-A. And then for this next author, Pedro, Sorry that's not very readable. I haven't figured out how to zoom nicely without the video being messed up on the screen capture. Pedro Adalbert, and I'm not going to worry about the exact spelling. Don't worry too much about that. As long as you know how that is done. So we entered. It's Pedro Adalbert Lewis and add. All this is doing for me is showing how, or give me a friendly way of entering information about the author. When I click OK, it's going to separate them in the proper way according to the MLA style. So now when I click OK, it types it in for me. I could just as well have done Gupta, comma, Elena Maya, semicolon, and enter that all by hand. But this gives me a friendly way of making sure it gets in the right format. And now the title is going to be Hearing Protection Methods. Hearing Protection Methods, year 2017. Yes. Adalbert, Adelbert, strange name. City, Orlando. Palm Press as the publisher. And the medium is print. Yes. Title was Hearing Protection Method. So it creates a source, and it's flexible now. If I choose a different style, like Arabian or APA, it has the information it needs and will reformat my citations or bibliography to match that style. Usually you have a good handle on the style before you write it. You don't really attempt to change it. But you may realize, oh, this is such a great research paper. I want to send it to somewhere else. They require it. I don't know what the ETS format is like. Maybe it's close to some Arabian or Chicago. But you learn all about that as you start doing research papers, how certain publishers like a certain format. And yes, publisher was Palm Press, and the medium is print. Now, none of this matters yet until I actually want to generate my bibliography. Right now, the citation or the parenthetical reference changed a little bit. If I don't want those to show up that way, there are citation options that I can put in that. And they're showing us, I want to make sure I'm editing the right citation here. Yeah, in that citation, we're going to decide to refer to particular pages and have it show up in the parenthetical references. So I can come back here and click on this, and instead of edit source, I can edit citation. Where did my little box go? Word is blinking at me. Bad about Word, I just come back. Oh, there it is. Edit citation finally came up, and they want to refer to particular pages 75, 78, and they decide to suppress the author and title. And then I click OK. Yes. You have it clicked, and then that tiny little arrow down there at the bottom of that bar, edit citation. 75 to 78. And now I can Control S, save this, because I got nervous there when that was having trouble bringing up edit citation. So remember, edit citation, and you can adjust what actually it suppresses in the actual parenthetical reference. Turn on and off what shows between those parentheses. I think that's it for this particular citation. spend a little time explaining footnotes. So let's finish our sentence here. After the footnote reference mark, we start a new paragraph. Okay, so we get to here. We come back now to here. This now is the end of our paragraph. We hit enter, and now I'm going to make sure I do a paste special. Paste text only. Here is the next amount of text we're putting in. I'll go with this. Yep, new paragraph. Remember, new paragraph, just hit enter. And while you're typing that in, I'll check to see what's coming up next. They show how you can count the words in your document. As you type, they're showing up down in the lower left. I don't find those particularly exciting, but they help you writing something requiring so many words. And I'll get the additional sentence there that's going to break to a new page when I type in the next text. All right, let me know when you're ready, and we will then continue this. What I'll do is here, I'm going to insert the rest of it. It automatically bops up to a new page. I'm going to double click on the border here, so you can see. I'll zoom out just a tiny bit, so you can see both sentences without this break between the pages showing up. By double clicking, I can show or hide the actual end of the page and the margin. Nice way if I'm reviewing the document, you don't want to have those page breaks taking up blank space on my screen. So I close the white space temporarily, and you can just double click on it to open or close the white space between pages. We are going to be putting in one more placeholder at the end of the word maximum. The name of that placeholder is going to be Chamberlain. When you get to the maximum word, you're going to do again references, insert citation, placeholder, replaceholder. We're going to be putting right down there that placeholder is going to be called Chamberlain. Just like I did the Gupta and then came back and edited it, we're entering a parenthetical reference Chamberlain placeholder, and then we'll be editing the source. So if ever you see this, to know whether it's just something that it's a placeholder, when you hover over it, it'll turn gray. If they just type that in parentheses, you won't see that gray come up. Yep, references. Yep. Citation, placeholder. Adding a new source will automatically put a placeholder. So it can be kind of, notice it's showing you your existing sources. So if you refer to the same source again, you don't have to go type all that over again. Just insert the placeholder for the same author. Yeah. It automatically will page. As you type, it should automatically page. And double clicking on the little border closes that extra white space just so it doesn't get in my way. But double clicking right there just hides it temporarily. Is that what you're talking about? Otherwise, as you type, it'll automatically know it's filled in the page. So you don't have to worry about inserting page break unless you want a page break. There, you can actually insert a page break. So everyone got to the point where they got the Chamberlain placeholder? And notice the hiding or showing that white space doesn't affect how it prints out. It just affects how I'm viewing it. I'll check finishing that out. I'm going to see. Get the graph where? It should automatically do it. Really? It's just right. At some point, the footnote should stop. And then you should put in a page break. Take a look. Oh, it is on a new page. Double click on white. Oh, yeah. go back and edit the Chamberlain source. Remember, we added the placeholder without giving the information. I come back and click on it one more time in the middle till I get that little border to show up. Now I go to edit source of that citation. And now I put in, it looks like this guy's a website. Website, and I'm filling in the basic stuff. In the book, they just start out with showing all the fields, and let's fill in specific fields. It's Chamberlain, Megan Lynn. Lynn, L-A-I-N for Chamberlain. Megan Lynn, Lynn. Name of the web page is Understanding How Volume Levels Affect. Chamberlain, Megan Lynn. L-Y-N-N. Understanding how volume affects levels affect. That a little more readable there. There we go. And Course Technology is our production company. And 2017 as user access. So let's do this. Course Technology and production company. Course Technology. And year 2017. Course Technology production company. Understanding how volume affects, the volume levels affect. And let's see what else they want to fill in. They want September as the month access. September 16, and the web as the medium. Even though I've said website, we want to make sure web is the medium. So September 16 and web. 2017, September. Yep, year is 2017. Oh! Did I miss that? Oh yeah, you're right. Yeah, I put it in year. You're right, year access. And they left year blank. That's a pain with a lot of websites. They don't give you all the information you want. Like oftentimes, it's a hard time finding just who the author is. You have who the page belongs to. And some teachers do not even allow you to use web as reference. But I think you need to know how to reference that because there are, especially in the technology areas, medium is web. Yeah. With technology, you can hardly write a book that 2 years later isn't obsolete because of the way technology moves. So, especially for